Oh, I'm live. That's good. That's good. I obviously knew that all along because I'm a professional. Welcome, welcome. It's another ARAM League cast. Today it's between Mada Mada Team Wipe and Team Moon Moon. Lounge favourite Team Moon Moon. So I'm just going to get everything set up. But yes, it's Group F. It's a juicy Group F match. There are 10 groups for the ARAM League, and the top 2 from each group, I think, go through to the next group phase when there'll be 5 groups, and then they'll go the top 2 from those will go through to a knockout stage. Don't ask me all the details because I haven't got a clue. I haven't even bothered to tidy up my sofa, as you can see over here. But we are going to get it kicked off. So, Mada Mada Team Wipe are doing better in this group so far. So, we'll see. I mean, we don't know what to expect exactly, of course. I'm just going to post some, spam some stuff. Right. Yes, so we are live and kicking. Good. Everything according to plan. And now we just wait for the teams to get their act together. Let me just tell them exactly what's going on. Good. I think what you all tuned in to hear is loads of typing noises. That's professional. I think that's almost as professional as how the backdrop looks. We've got stitches there, and we've got some jumper on the sofa. Good. It's all good. One of the teams is playing with a sub. I believe that's Mada Mada Team Wipe, but I don't know who the sub is. Welcome, Yemek Mikey, which is... Oh my days, Yemek Mikey is sort of like Mikey reversed, but it's not. It should have been Yemek Mikey. That's what it should have been. You've got your name wrong. You've got your own name wrong. How do you feel about that? Teams are nearly ready. Excitement, excitement. So yeah, we're gonna have an ARAM League match between Mada Mada Team Wipe, and then we're gonna have just me playing Storm League, and losing as usual. My big diamond skills. I used to be GM once, many moons ago, for 3 days. Many Team Moon Moons ago, you might say. Yeah, so Team Moon Moon. So this is the difficulty with Group F at the moment so far, is Mada Mada Team Wipe have won one, lost one in their Group F, whereas Team Moon Moon might be said they've lost one, or lost twice if you're good at maths. So really, Team Moon Moon, if they lose this, they're definitely out of the tournament. And if they win it, they might still be out, but then they'll go to tiebreakers and stuff, and it'll be complicated. Why'd you have to go and make things so complicated? Yeah, no, Yemek is an anagram of Mikey. That's the whole thing of what I was talking about. I was saying you should have had a palindrome. I don't know. Yeah, the teams. Most of the viewers so far are the teams who are playing, so that's good. No sniping allowed. There is a 20-second delay, so if I respond slowly to your messages, that's it's partly because the 20-second delay, but also because of the 45-second delay in my brain, which is how I got disqualified from driving. So, yeah, I mean, I've been having some good fun casting these ARAMs so far this week. It's been juicy. It's just constant action, which is basically what I like. It's what I like to see. And I think we're going to go into the game very shortly. So here's the loading screen for you all to look at, because Nobody wants to see my beautiful face. Blah, blah, blah. This is not the kind of production I usually favour, where we're all sitting looking at loading screens and. By the way, if any of you want to see the team standings, it's all on the heroeslounge.gg website. You can go like under events, there's ARAM League, and there's loads of data on all the teams and stuff like that. I do know that Team Moon Moon did play in the Epic Cup last season, where they lost in the first round. Anyway, enough talk about that. Let's take a look at the draft as it's unfolding, if you can believe in such a thing. Thrall getting immediately slammed up by Mada Mada there. They're not going for the Gazlo, which disappoints me. And I know it might disappoint a certain Teddy Feast who may be watching. Is this a zero tank comp coming out from Mada Mada? Yeah, no tanks. Although it looks like nobody had a choice of tank. Oh, I see, so there's a no tank game completely. And Thrall or Tannis in a no tank game are going to thrive so hard. Zul'jin might struggle a bit more to get stacks though. So that's, you know, from that perspective, maybe not so good for them. But let's take a look at what Team Moon Moon have got. No, they have got a tank. They've got the Garrosh here, played by Zasleef. Got Yemek, the Yemek Mikey on Maiev. Poppin Fresh playing Vala. Maladriel on the Anduin and Linux on... Oh no, sorry, Maladriel on the Sylvanas and Linux on the Anduin. There you go. And then that's against this Thrall Artanis that we talked about from Mada Mada. With Digi on Zul'jin backing them up. Delano on Whitemane and Vash on Tassadar. Surely it's got to be Crash Lightning for Thrall. And it is. This is the map where Crash Lightning... This is the map that Crash Lightning dreams of. I wonder if Artanis is going to go for Marksman. Yeah, he has. But sometimes it's worth going Amateur just because you can just get ridiculous push. Like if you get a kill... Amateur opponent just allows you to take a fort. Immediately, just this is going to be constant skirmish. Yemek gets a juicy tether onto Artanis, but has to get back. I assume he's gone for the bond stacks. Yeah, but you have to stack. You have to bond two people at once to get stacks on that, which is why he hasn't got any stacks so far on that quest. Maladriel just trying to poke pressure with the Sylvanas, which we know that can do so much damage. Oh, here goes Artanis, gets the big swap onto Garrosh. Is that the target he wanted? But he's getting torn to shreds with the Thrall damage as well. But that's a juicy tether for Maiev. That's going to provide many stacks. Immediately 4 stacks onto Yemek, for Yemek Mikey's Bonds of Justice at level 1. But you've got the Garrosh for it, so probably not worth just yet. But still, the stacks are interesting. But Thrall's Crash Lightning stacking so fast right now because the players are all clumped. They have to be fighting around this wave. Here's the tether onto Artanis. Try to do some damage. Tries to follow up with Zasleef's Garrosh. Not quite getting the value that he was hoping for. The thing is, Zul'jin is just so good at tearing up a Garrosh when he comes near. And so by the time Garrosh gets to someone, he's already on a quarter HP. Just be careful. He's looking for a throw now, but look at these roots. If there's a swap there, it's not a swap. It's not a swap from Mr. Sandman. But Zasleef still has to retreat because just this amount of sustained damage coming out from the combination of Zul'jin and Thrall. Oh, that's a swap onto Maiev. Can she jump out? The Anduin save will keep Yemek Mikey alive for now. There's a stun from Garrosh trying to capitalize, counter punish Zul'jin for being a bit far forward, trying to get his stacks. But Digimon here on the Zul'jin manages to escape. Oh, Maiev jumps in. Is that the idea? Maybe. Dodges the swap nicely from Yemek Mikey there. And Digimon just trying to sit back and get gradually stacked. The problem is if you let a Zul'jin and a Thrall get to late game, and a Marksman Artanis, don't forget, this is just going to become devastating. So the early game has to be won here by Team Moon Moon. Or as they go in with a big tether on from Maiev, trying to catch the Thrall, but Garrosh has gone down. Can they get the Artanis as well? Yes, they can. So it's 1 for 1. 1 for 1 with Poppin Fresh just about getting away on 80 HP. There we go. So now we're just going to see Anduin try and heal everyone up gradually. But look how low they all are still. Maladriel, Poppin Fresh, and Yemek Mikey all pretty low. Maiev goes in, thinks about looking for the bonds. Goes in, dodges the swap that came out from Mr. Sandman. Zesleaf, what can you do? I think he's having a real difficulty walking at the enemy team. I think it's going to depend on Yemek Mikey's Maiev to engage. That's a huge swap onto Anduin though. Anduin can't pull himself out. There's a potential counter engage here for onto Zul'jin. Digimon took a fair chunk of damage, but look how much work Artanis is doing. Mr. Sandman, give me some sand. That's absolutely savage there. And that's 3 kills for Mada Mada team wipe in that juicy fight from the God swap, ultimately from Mr. Sandman, followed by his ridiculous damage. And Digimon on the Zul'jin didn't do enough digital monster action. Or rather, did do enough before he got out, and not enough damage was done to him. Yeah, maybe the guillotine at level 10 could be nice, but when you've got so many stacks for your one attacks, Tazdingo's just sort of makes more sense, I think, especially if you're going to get thrown in by a Garrosh. I just think, oh, here's Maiev looking for the tether, finds Artanis only, it does connect it. Oh, an attempted swap from Mr. Sandman has to be saved. Garrosh has to be saved there by Linux's Anduin. Oh, Maiev with the dodges again. It's all looking nice from both teams, but you just get the feeling that Garrosh just can't run into that scale of damage from Tassadar and Zul'jin. And bear in mind, this is the early game. When you get a late game Tassadar, but that's a huge bond. Garrosh goes in, throws Whitemane into more trouble immediately. Now, Moon are on the hunt. They're looking to try and catch Thrall. The bonds aren't available. Yemek just trying to do the damage, but the 4-man dog from Adamek. Who let the dogs out? That's the snap. It was a greedy globe from Adamek. Maybe he could have got out if he just went straight home. And now he's staggered his death. Of course, the members on the side of Team Moon are falling low, including Yemek Mikey, who's gone in, got swapped back immediately. Great stuff from Mr. Sandman, punishing the Maiev for her insolence. And the Warden has died. So, it's not much in terms of XP lead. Once this tower dies, though, it's going to be getting close to level 10. There's the swap, this time onto Maladriel Sylvanas. Can she get out before the roots end? No, she can't. That's the end of Sylvanas. Artanis, though, did die in response, because he was the one who swapped in, of course. And they're starting to punish this Artanis nicely. But, of course, he got his season maximum stack before he died. But just look at this sustained damage. By the way, Thrall on 24 Crash Lightning stacks at 6 minutes. This is savage. He's going to stack the Crash Lightning very soon, at which point it becomes absolutely devastating. Maiev goes in for a tether onto Zul'jin, finds it, but she's on her own. Can't go in too deep, Mikey Mike. And so sits back for now. Does a cheeky pre-tap. Are they thinking of engaging here? I assume it's going to be Warden's Cage. The Wailing Arrow's there. Doesn't find the swap. Maladriel gets rooted by the dog, though. Has to be a bit careful. But Garrosh has to be even more careful. He's just getting sustained down by the combination of the Zul'jin and this Tassadar. In goes Maiev, looking maybe for the cage. Here it comes. It's a big cage. The 3 members in it. The Wailing Arrow didn't seem to do enough. Garrosh is still alive. The light bomb comes out. It's going to start doing work, but Maiev jumps out at the last seconds. The light bomb doesn't actually get any stun value. Garrosh falls and Sylvanas falls, and Yemek Mikey on the Maiev is going to be the next. It's 3 kills for nothing, despite a great Warden's Caging initiation from Maiev. So now we can take, in this moment of respite, we can take a look at some of these level 10 heroics that have been picked up. You've got the Earthquake from Thrall, as you'd be expected. You've got the Suppression Pulse from Artanis, not going for the Laser, which would have synergized nicely actually with the Earthquake, but wanting to blind that Maiev and Vala. Obviously against a Vala, it's just so much value to have a blind. Whitemane going for Divine Reckoning, as we might have expected. Here's a lovely save onto Maladriel. Now can they punish Artanis, who went for that swap? They've done some damage, stunned him in the thought. He took a chunk, but Poppin' Fresh is so low on the Valor that they can't really commit to any more of a fight. But they want to take this fight before 13. Here comes the Artanis swap, hungry for a swap. If they catch Garrosh, they just blow him up. They don't even care that he's Garrosh. Oh, that's a huge taunt onto Whitemane. No, surely that's going to be the end of Whitemane. Tethered in by Maiev. There's the light bomb on top. Garrosh is still alive. Manages to heal himself up as well. Now he's got a cheeky tap. No, he doesn't have a cheeky tappy available, but Maiev wants to chase. 2 members down on the side of Mada Mada team wipe. Garrosh wants it. He gets the stun onto Tassadar, who of course has the best escape in the game, so is an unlikely target for a pick. And I don't think Team Moon Moon can capitalize on those 2 kills that they got. It's just giving them a nudge of XP, but that's not really what they need. They need to get some structural damage. And to do that, they need to win a fight closer to the enemy team. Right, now, here's the swap onto Sylvanas. It's actually hurt Artanis a lot more. Tassadar's died in the Fracas. That's going to be the end of Artanis as well. There's the Thrall Dogs on top of the Earthquake. It will cause a problem for Mikey on the Maiev and for the Sleuth on the Garrosh, but they will walk out ultimately. And again, it's 2 kills for nothing in favor of Moon Moon, but what can they do? They can't actually siege up. Here comes Maiev. Goes in, catches the tether onto Thrall. He knows he's got to run back into trouble. If he can find the Great Wolf here, he might be able to get away with it. And in the meantime, Zul'jin and Whitemane just took Garrosh to school. And it was not a very nice school, to be honest. It was a school where significant corporal punishment was still in effect. Maiev has to get out of here. Artanis looking for the swap. Finds Meladriel on the Sylvanas with a dog on top. Great. Oh my days, this synergy. This synergy between Artanis and Thrall perfectly executed here by Mr. Sandman and Adamek. As soon as they get a swap, Thrall is ready there to put a dog to roots them. There's the roots, in fact, onto Maiev, who's been blown up before the light bomb can even go off. Garrosh in the roots here from Whitemane. And ultimately, with the combination of the force wall that stopped him escaping, and he's staggered his death now, so now it's still 5v4. There's Valor, even longer death timers now, and in that time, look how much siege damage can be laid on by the combination of Zul'jin, Tassadar, Thrall, Artanis. Maiev goes in. Does she want to engage? Apparently she does. She gets the tether onto Artanis. Is this the time? The Warden's cage in the fort. This could be nasty. There's the Wailing Arrow trying to catch the Thrall. Stuns the Thrall. Throws him back into the keep. Thrall immediately down. What can they do though? Maev's gone down as well. I'm not sure if they can chase through this Earthquake. And so it's actually 1-for-1 in a situation where... oh my days. Anduin just about gets away there because of a great into the fray from Zasleaf. And... this is not looking good for Team Moon Moon. When they were fighting on their turf, they lost the fight more or less. Although, or you might say it was equal. But now we're going to be 5 members alive on a piece. But it's still 16 that's needed for Team Moon Moon. Maiev goes in, tries to find the tether on Digimon, finds it on Artanis instead. Artanis isn't necessarily the target they want. Zasleaf tries to find the stun, but Tassadar's Psionic Storms are doing so much work. He's on 853 stacks. Bear in mind, once he gets to 1,000, that damage is going to increase even more. If we take a look at the damage numbers right now, he's doing a chunk. Oh, they've got to be careful there. He's done, a small amount so far, but once he gets, I was going to say once he gets to the Twilight Archon, but of course he's not gone Archon. He's gone Force Wall, which is an interesting choice. I thought maybe late game they might play for that late game power of the Twilight Archon, which just we've seen it in the ARAM leagues some of this week. Oh, that's a nice throw onto Thrall. Can they punish it? He's been rooted. Is there a taunt available? I think Garrosh is just about alive for now, but not for much longer. Garrosh goes down. So does Valor. They're trying to catch Tassadar, but Maiev, you're all on your own. The Warden's Cage isn't going to save you there. Meladriel Sylvanas just taking chunks to her health from that Zul'jin, and it's only Anduin left standing. This is not looking good for Team Moon Moon at all. They've got 4 members dead, and Mada Mada Team Wipe are marching on the core here. Sandman tries to find a cheeky swap if Linux had showed his face, but he's got to do something. He's got to do something to buy time. Linux has called GG. He doesn't want to fight anymore, but Poppin' Fresh and Zasleaf do. They want to go in. They want to make this fight happen. The Earthquake's there from Thrall. Garrosh is just trying to save the core, but Zul'jin and his catapult at the back. It's going to be game number 1, going to Mada Mada Team Wipe. Ooh, that was intense. Ooh, so, I have to say, it didn't seem like Team Moon Moon had a chance there. They really tried with certain ideas, and Yemek Mikey on the Maiev was always looking for some of those engages, but it just wasn't enough fundamentally. Good evening, Briz, by the way, who's just joined in the chat. Sorry, I haven't shaved. Oh, I couldn't be bothered. But I think this was a really nice idea, the Zul'jin Tassadar against the Garrosh. just constant poke if you try to run in. And then on the flip side, they also had their own initiation ideas of Artanis finding a swap with the Thrall Wolf on top. That was pretty savage stuff from Mada Mada. So great stuff from them. Obviously, you don't see your opponent's draft, so when picking Garrosh, Moon didn't know that he'd be up against such ridiculous poke damage. But it's not over yet. It is a best of 3 series. So Team Moon have a chance to come back. They've not been doing great in Group F so far, as I say. They've lost 2 out of 2 of their matches, and if they lose today, it'll be 3 out of 3, and that's it. They're out of the tournament. So they've got to fight for their lives. Fight for your lives, Team Moon. Mada Mada Team Wipe are like, yeah, whatever. We're just gonna get some nice swaps and wolf stuff. I mean, I'd like to see that in even in a non-ARAM game. That kind of setup. It didn't have any laning pressure, obviously, but who needs lanes when you've got ganks? That's the moral for today's story. Well, that's the moral in ARAM anyway. What is that? Oh, there's an empty water bottle on my sofa. That's good news. Yeah. Moon were paying for the macro there, Mikey says. That's one of the lesser known strategies on Lost Cavern. It's a niche strategy. Ooh. It's absolutely roasting. 28 degrees in my living room, that's good. And I've got to wear a shirt because I'm on camera. Maybe I secretly take my shirt off during the match when you can't see me. Mila's like, shirt off? Hi. Oh, Gwells has got a cast going on as well, which I didn't know. Yeah, so I think we're still waiting for the second game. Have I missed something? Ah. Yes, the lobby is being created now. Yeah, so Team Moon have to shake things up a bit for game number 2. But obviously you don't always have the choice of, your draft and which direction your draft goes in ARAM. But I think if Mada Mada get the opportunity to do the same kind of thing as they did there, kind of that displacement from Artanis swap into Thrall roots, it was savage. And just to poke so that Garrosh couldn't initiate. Of course, that's one of the difficulties of Garrosh. He's a bit vulnerable to that kind of poke damage, but I think any tank would have struggled with that. ETC, anything at all. So then you have to leave Maiev to initiate with some flank nonsense. But if you get blinded or it can be tough. I've got a message on my phone. Oh, it says Vash. That's what the message on my phone said. Vash1080 is now following me on Twitch. Thanks for following. I'm ready. I'm always ready. Yes, we're nearly. Good, let's clear that. So, we are going to get cracking into game number 2 shortly. Team Moon, what's the Team Moon Moon portrait? Well, we'll see actually. I think they were, Mada Mada were quite fortunate in the draft setup there, to get Zul'jin and Thrall and Artanis, who stacked very nicely as well. But then they were winning from the outset. Those are late game heroes, and they were winning from the outset with that. So I was kind of expecting Team Moon Moon to have a bit more presence with their draft in the early game, but shows why now. Right, so let's go into the game. There we go. So we can see this is what Mada Mada are looking at. So we're looking at Phoenix, they're looking at Deckard Cain, Li Ming and ETC. So I mean, this is a pretty nice draft. If they can get the damage done for Li Ming to reset, this could be huge for Mada Mada. Well, let's take a look at what they're up against. Oh, that's nice. I like it. I like everything about what I'm seeing right now, this draft. Stitches, played by Yemek Mikey. You got Nova, played by Maladriel. Pop and Fresh on Mephisto there. And Linux on Alarak, and they're all supported by Zisleaf on Lili. Whereas the Mada Mada draft is ETC, maybe more traditional, played by Digimon. Alarak, played by Delano. Adamek on the Deckard Cain. Vash on the four-legged cavalry Phoenix. And Mr. Sandman on Li Ming. So both teams with what I would call ridiculous amounts of burst damage. So it's going to be interesting to see how the supports can handle that. But it seems like the more predictable engages are on the side of Mada Mada, but Team Moon Moon's got to find those hooks and snipes, and if they do, then somebody's going to die very quick. That's a huge route from Deckard Cain, followed up with a slide from ETC into the combo of Arak. That's a nasty combo, but they're all still alive. And by the way, Maladriel's Nova is flanking, trying to hurt Digimon in the meantime. So nice stuff there. By the way, Nova on 2 stacks now on her precision sniper. Oh, okay, so he didn't get... So this Alarak, the left Alarak, which I'm going to call Delano, because that's his name. Digimon goes in, but look again at these routes here. This time only hitting Mephisto, of course. But Maladriel's got to be careful, as she's got the four-legged cavalry chasing her, but with an ETC as well. But ETC's under so much pressure from Linux. Surely going to finish the job. Finish the job. No, they can't do the work. Oh, yes, they can. But also, in the meantime, they've got Li Ming over here. How did that hook not interrupt the teleport? It looked like Yemek's hook hit the four-legged cavalry Phoenix there. But anyway, it is 2 kills there for Team Moon Moon, and that brings Linux Alarak's sadism up to 96. And bear in mind, he's on the quest at level 1. So, oh, that hook nearly hit Li Ming, but not quite. But Stitch has been pulled back into that route. That's nasty. That's a nasty combination. There's so much CC available for Mada Mada here. Whereas on the other side, on the side of Team Moon Moon, they're more aimed at just displacement and burst. And they're doing a lot of damage, it has to be said. If you take a look at these damage numbers, 6k on Mephisto. Oh, that's a nice hook onto Deckard Cain. Can they punish him? No. Linux on the Alarak goes down. That's tough. That is tough for Alarak, because I think Moon Moon thought that they'd won that fight, or rather they got the better initiation, with that hook onto Deckard Cain. The thing is, you've got to be careful when you're in over about just about the stray leaving or just going round. They're looking for combos now, though, onto the Alarak on Alarak action. Linux onto Delano does the damage. Now Digimon's in trouble, though. But here's the roots from Deckard Cain. Going to allow Phoenix to do some work, but Phoenix has to be careful. He's down to a third HP. Teleports out there sensibly. Has Stitches gone for the globe talent? Yes, and he's on 9 globes already in 2 minutes 52, so that's pretty good. Now, can they get the hook onto someone here? No, because the minion wave's in the way. So still, the Mada Madas are like, that's a hook! That's a hook onto Phoenix! And the 4-legged cavalry is on the deck. Stitches goes and gets his 12th globe of the game. No, 11th, sorry. And something tells me there's going to be a lot of HP for Stitches in this game. Now that's a combo onto ETC, who's got to be careful. If Stitches finds the hook here through the gap, finds it onto Alarak, it's beautiful. Is there a follow-up from Alarak and Mephisto? Yes, there is. And that's going to be the end of Delano's Alarak. While Yimek Mikey can just heal up off a minion and tank with his ridiculous HP. ETC slides in, looking for Linux's Alarak. Can Ming finish it off with an orb? Down to 200 HP, but still survives with the Lily heals. Digimon, got to be careful, taking some damage from Maladriel's Nova, who is also pretty low and has to go tap. So Linux out on his own there. Stitches wants to find a hook here. ETC's in the bush, revealed by the slam from Stitches. ETC goes to try and zone. Papa Fresh's Mephisto took some damage when he teleported in. Phoenix took a lot of damage there when he got hooked in. Has to be careful, has to sit back, wait for those shields to regenerate. In comes the Ming Orb from the flank, looking for trouble. Mephisto goes in, pokes with his teleport, and returns. Hook doesn't find ETC. So now Yimek's a little bit exposed. There's the cleanse from Lily. Keeps Yimek mobile for now. Tanks a bit of a Li Ming Orb, but he doesn't care because he's pretty fat. The large lad does not give too much heed to a single Li Ming Orb. Tries to find Digimon with a hook, doesn't quite get it. ETC going for a traditional build, which I don't endorse. I think ETC's builds are wide open in this day and age, and you can absolutely get value with, for example, auto attack. Oh, trying to find the hook on Phoenix, who's pretty low. If they realise Digi's here, which they just have, they can surely punish. It was a little bit of slow reaction from Team Moon Moon there, because if they'd realised Team Moon Digi's ETC was in the bush, they could have done a serious amount of hurt to him. But instead he was sort of allowed to just walk through them. That's a combination from Delano's Alarak, and in comes ETC with the slide to finish off that Stitches. There's the value of that Pinball Wizard Burst to ensure the kill, but there's a combo onto Phoenix, so it's killed both ways. Maladriel, can she stay alive and save her stacks? No, she can't. Okay, you don't die, you don't lose your stacks if you die. I totally know what I'm talking about. Best caster EU. ETC comes in, dodges the Alarak combo. Now, this is a hook. Maybe they can start to punish... Oh, maybe they can punish Delano, actually, who's pretty low and trying to get some value. The combination from Linux doesn't quite connect. Maybe there's a chance for Digimon, who's trying to peel the Phoenix, to get punished. Hook onto Phoenix. Teleports out. Meanwhile, Nova trying to zone that Ming. Mr. Sandman on only 500 HP. Has to be careful. Steps back. That's a combination from Delano, followed by a face melt from ETC. Will secure the kill. Helping hand for Zasleaf, though, who gets out sharpish, but Maladriel won't be so lucky, I think. Well, the Lily heals are big, but just not big enough. Right, level 10's coming in for... Ooh, the big hook onto ETC. Can they punish him before he picks that mosh pit and turns it around? They've not managed to kill him, and now he picks the mosh pit. Deckard Cain with the Lornado to knock them out of the mosh pit. Purification salvo from Phoenix. That's a lovely hook onto Alarak. Delano is dead. Now, the counter-strike set off by the Purification salvo. Are they going to get more value whilst Delano is dead? Linux is a bit deep, though. Has to be careful of that Li Ming combo. The helping hand doesn't connect, but he's not in the mosh. The mosh is down. Is a zoning mosh from Digimon. Maybe they can punish Phoenix. There's the roots of Mephisto, the durance of hate, and they're going to feel the hatred of over 10,000 roots. Oh, the Li Ming Orb's nasty with a Pinball Wizard on top. It's going to secure the Alarak kill, and that's the sadism reset onto the other Alarak as well. So both of these Alaraks getting their citizen reset a lot. On 95 and 90 respectively right now. Hook onto Delano. Gorges him in, but the ETC slide is there. I wouldn't go Gorger against an ETC if I were you, my friend, but it's too late to tell him that. And that's going to be the end of Stitches when he was hoping to get an Alarak kill. Combo onto Alarak and immediately blown up. The savage lockdown and savage burst coming out from Mada Mada team wipe. Precision strike, trying to clear the wave and maybe zone off a bit, but it doesn't get any hero damage at all. Stitches wants a gorge, but he doesn't have it up for another 30 seconds, so looking just for a hook into the fort. That'll do if they can catch it on anyone other than ETC or maybe Phoenix. So trying to find that hook is still on cooldown for now. Stitches, by the way, hasn't gone for the cooldown reduction at level 4, instead going for the percentage damage on his hook. Maybe not the pick against the comp that we're seeing here from Mada Mada team wipe. But he's hoping to make it worth it. Right, here's the combo. Onto Delano, trying to follow up, but Digimon there with the zone, trying to punish Mephisto, who's got to be careful. Poppin' Fresh completely burst down. There's a gorge on ETC, but again, I'm not sure that's the target you want. He's just going to slide out, isn't he? Unless they've got another hook, which I don't think they do. The Alarak telekinesis is there, but Lili's been blown up by the other Alarak. Delano doing the work. Hooks in the Li Ming, though, this time she doesn't have a teleport available. The precision strike is nicely dodged. Sure, the mosh pit didn't actually achieve that much. Oh, but Li Ming overstayed her welcome. But it's still 3 or 4 kills, really, for one in a long, drawn-out fight there under the fort. Leonamile seems to be saying Delano's Alarak is doing the work. I think that's accurate, but it's ultimately Li Ming who's doing all the damage numbers on the side of Mada Mada. And of course that's more poke damage and less, focus burst, but she's done a significant amount of damage. And I you sort of get the impression that Mr. Sandman is getting to play football a little bit. And by the way, it's all build Ming, so you can write your emojis about that in the chat now if you like. Maladriel gets a snipe, trying to do some damage. You can see the enemy team pinging her, wanting to get her dead. There's the hook, doesn't connect onto Alarak. Now, is this the window for Alarak to be a bit more confident, try to find a combination of his own? Linux sees that happening and tries to deny Delano his Alarak initiation with his own. Digi, thinking about sliding in, doesn't have the much available. How did that hook not hit? It looked like it scraped his hand. But I guess... Oh, that's the Durance of Hate. This time onto Deckard Cain, who's taken some serious damage. But he's got the 10 armor from his friends nearby, so he survives the precision strike. Phoenix is in the gorge to deny the purification salvo. Great use of gorge there. Alarak, meaning Delano, has died, and the Jugs are keeping everyone healthy on the side of Moon. Here, maybe they can get something more. Onto Digimon, trying to get the towers. And start moving forward. And find another hook if they can. Lili in the roots. Won't be too worried about that. She is Lili, one of the tankier supports. ETC trying to flank, but Alarak's still dead, so Moon can make something happen here if they can find a hook or some other kind of initiation. That's the hook onto ETC. Got to be careful though, because Linux on the Alarak has died, so it's now 4v4 with a level 16 advantage in favor of Mada Mada, and that's going to be 2 down, and suddenly it's back in favor of Mada Mada again this game. They're marching forwards, trying to get the triangle onto Stitches. He dodges it because he's got that movement speed coming from the globes. And they're going to walk in and try to start chipping this fort down. Phoenix sidesteps the precision strike easily enough, but that means crucially there's no more minions left. There's a nice hook onto Li Ming. Stitches maybe a bit exposed though as ETC slides in. There's the gorge onto Alarak. The Lornado though, will it provide the necessary cover? No, it won't. Delano's in knee deep in the fort here, but there are 2 minions maybe? No, there are no more minions left. Delano taking the 4 damage, but the counter strike doing the damage, but with the Durance of Hate on top eventually. Delano's Alarak falls, and now Linux's Alarak wants to engage pretty hard, trying to catch Deckard Cain, but Mephisto looking for ETC, who's a little bit exposed there. Looks for the fishing hook there, tries to catch Phoenix out, doesn't quite connect. Roots onto Alarak. Can the damage finish him off? The orb is so huge! with the combination damage from the Phoenix. And there's the mosh pit. The Tornado blows Stitches out, but there's nothing he can do. And Phoenix has torn him to shreds. ETC died for that though. And so you've used a mosh pit and an ETC kill to get a Stitches kill. So maybe, you know, not a great trade for Mada Mada, all things considered. Now they're just going to put Mada Mada are just going to start pushing on while Stitches is dead. They're 4v4 still. Maybe they can catch something, but the ETC lockdown is quite important for how they're executing this. There's the Durance. Doesn't connect. Doesn't matter. It's a short cooldown. They can just sit back, wait for it to reset. They don't have to do anything. That's a lovely Tornado, aiming it for where Mephisto is coming back, but he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Phoenix is maybe overcommitted a little bit here. If the hook connects, no, it doesn't. And Delano's combo has been absolutely huge, but the Gorge denied the Purification salvo. That's why you're picking the Gorge, Mikey. I love it. I love completely denying those kind of initiations from Phoenix with a huge Gorge there from Yemek, because otherwise there would have been two members on the deck. Hook is up again, catches Li Ming. Can they follow it up? There's the silence from Linux. It's absolutely savage, catching Alarak and Li Ming, but the Purification salvo is available. Hurts Pop and Fresh and Yemek a bit. They've got to get back. Deckard Cain has disconnected temporarily, but has reconnected now. ETC trying to escape with the help of Deckard Cain. Phoenix, can you get out of there? The four-legged cavalry. He's riding out, and he will get out, but Alarak and Li Ming were not so lucky. Whoa, that's the hook on ETC. These fishing hooks are starting to do serious work from Yemek Mikey. Poppin' Fresh goes in with the damage. Just trying to chip down those shields of Phoenix so they can set up an initiation. Yemek Mikey a bit locked down, but he doesn't care. He is Stitches with some ridiculous amount of HP. What is that? 7.5k? That's huge. Digimon there, trying to get the hook onto Deckard Cain. Can they follow it up? The Gorge is there onto Deckard. Now, they've got to be careful though. Linux is going to get caught out. The Counter-Strike will save him for a second, and he gets the Phoenix kill. Linux, you are a god. Meanwhile, Deckard Cain, though, escaping on the flanks, but Li Ming not so lucky. ETC tried to save his teammate and was punished for it. And that is very nice. In comes Alarak with the deadly charge, but doesn't connect it onto anyone. So with the level 20s and the 3 members dead, this is going to be the first fort of the game, bizarrely taken at 15 minutes here by Team Moon Moon, who've started to come really online late as this game has gone on later. And now Linux is looking at 105 sadism, whereas Delano only has 90. And all the while, those globes for Stitches are piling up. Onto 37 so far. Not a huge number for a brawl, but still giving him a very sizable health pool and movement speed. That's the Tornado onto Stitches though, but he can just sidestep it really easily with that bonus move speed that we were talking about. ETC going in, looking for the mosh pit. He doesn't have Torbos, he's got the Vault. The Gorge, the Hungry. Eventually, one of them comes out and just kills Stitches. In comes the deadly charge from Linux. This is confidence, very confident from Alarak. Tries to finish off Phoenix with the counter-strike, but it's not enough. Sidesteps, there's the silence. Can he do any more? The precision strike's there. If Linux can stay alive for a second longer, it would have been maybe a kill, but it's not. Mephisto comes in, trying to clean up that Deckard Cain, but he heals himself. ATC dies, no death metal for him. He's gone for the bolt. And Maladriel starting to just flank and can put out some serious threat to anybody who overstays on too little HP. But it's going to be the second fort of the game taken, this time in favour of Mada Mada team wipe. So it's even Stevens on the structure so far, even Stevens on the kills. I can't count that in my head, but it looks like 17 versus 20. So 20 deaths, sorry, 20 kills for Mada Mada team wipe and 17. Oh, Stitches thought someone would be at the globe, but they weren't. That's just kind of a bit unlucky for Yemek Mikey, but the hook will be back up soon enough, and then he can try again. Look how many potions there are set up here by Mada Mada though. That's a Tornado trying to catch Lulian Nova. These Tornadoes for me have not given huge value, and I think the stay a while might have been the better option. What has Deckard Cain taken at level 20? Bottomless Flask, of course. Stitches going in, trying to... That's a hook! An absolute god hook Oh, but ETC might try to counter-engage with the Mosh Pit. There's the Gorge release. Let's let Alarak and Phoenix go. There's no Gorge available for the Purification Salvo this time. The Jugs, though. The Jug's keeping people alive for a while, but Lily eventually dies, and Stitch is going to be next. There's the damage from the Precision Strike. Zones 2 members of Mada Mada, but they've got to be careful here. Hop and Fresh, dancing a little bit. Can't survive the damage from ETC and Alarak forever. Will eventually fall with no support there to help him. And Linux might be next, and that's going to be the sadism on the deck as well. The counter-strike's there. Can he punish? Yes, he can, Linux, you god! That's turned the game, not turned the game around necessarily, but saved the game potentially. If Maladriel can get out as well, hides behind the gate. Leeming's shot. Mr. Salmon doesn't seem interested as well. Hides from the roots there. Maladriel doing some significant work to stay alive in a very tricky circumstance. But crucially, the fact that Linux got that kill onto Delano's Alarak means that they both reset their sadism instead of just one, and that could be crucial later on in this game. And of course, Phoenix's shield at level 20 was procced, so maybe something can be made to happen here. There's the Lornado, because I think Stitches knew that Lornado was going to happen, which is why he didn't gorge. Maladriel has to be careful. Digimon knows that Maladriel's on pretty low HP, but here comes Lily to top her up. Now they want to engage while Alarak's still on his way back for Mada Mada. Maybe they can find a hook. They've got to get the line right though. There's so many minions in the way, but they've got to do it before Alarak arrives. Probably not. No, they haven't. So it's going to be back to 5v5, and both teams still have a keep at 19 minutes into this Heroes Lounge ARAM League Group F match. It's the game number 2 in this best of 3. 1-0 up to Mada Mada team wipe so far. But can they make it a 2-0 sweep, or will Moon equalize? That's a huge kill onto Phoenix. In goes the Hungry, looking to release them in the Precision Strike, but not perfectly timed. Digimon comes out, has the Mosh Pit available, but doesn't want to use it just yet. The Lornado pushing Stitches back. The Jugs will keep him alive for now, though, with the combination of his 8,000 HP. Hook doesn't connect because Mr. Sandman does a cheeky sidestep. But there's still no Phoenix. Can they punish? Can they capitalize here? Moon have to press forwards. They're hungry to stay in this ARAM League competition. If they lose this game, they're out of Heroes Lounge ARAM League. The Deadly Strike coming in from Linux, trying to punish, but Delano knows. There's the hook onto Delano. Can they turn that around? The counter-strike is available, but he doesn't need it. There's the Mosh Pit. It's onto 3 of them. There's nothing that can be done. The silence is eventually there onto ETC, but it's a little bit too late. Stitch is still alive, but Nova not so lucky. They want to capitalize on Delano. Hooked in again. There's the counter-strike, though. There's the reverse counter-strike from Linux. Oh my days, the battle of the Alarax, and Linux is doing so much work, but the Purification Salvo comes. The jugs from the sleeve are huge. They keep everyone alive. ETC slides in, but there's no Mosh Pit available. He wants to catch Linux. They want to get rid of that sadism. The Lornado is being committed for this. Stitch is trying to help by distracting on the backline, but eventually Linux is caught. The Gorge is available, just taking ETC on its own. Maybe they can punish. No, they can't. It's only Stitches on his own. His team have abandoned him for dead. Can he stay alive? The cleanse is there from Lily. Just gives a little bit of heal. He's still alive. The movement speed from the many globes combined with his 1 million HP that the globes have given him. There's the helping hand to get Lily out as well. The two helping each other. What a team. The Precision Strike doesn't finish Phoenix because he's walking away with a 4-legged cavalry. I cannot believe how tense this game is. There's still no Mosh Pit available for 55 seconds. This is the initiation time that they need on the side of Moon, but they have to wait for Linux's Alarak, who's been so pivotal to these team fights. But now he's lost his sadism. Will he be so impactful? There's the hook. ETC. Choosing not to gorge him in. Oh, because it's not up for 20 seconds. That's one major consideration, I guess. But that's a huge route with ETC slide on top. Can they punish Linux? He does have the counter-strike available. Will it save him? Just for now it will, but there's the jugs. Can it do it? Yes, it can. The jugs from Zasleaf. Again, they're doing the work. Keeping Linux alive on basically 3 HP. The hook as well provided a bit of zoning. Mosh Pit still down for 15 seconds, but I think Team Moon don't know that just now. Stitches thought about going for the globe, decided against it, tries to find a hook instead onto Digi, catches it, but doesn't care about it. The Durant misses. 50 seconds till that's up again, but the deadly charge was there. There's the damage from Linux. He goes in with the initiation. The Mosh Pit's back up though. Phoenix is down though. No, and he's not. He's hidden in the gorge. I'm not sure that was advantageous. Alarak comes out. The Mosh Pit is available, but the counter-strike's there. Catches Deckard Kane. Can they punish the Deckard who's just been hooked in? But they're going for different targets. Linux and Poppin' Fresh are going for Digi instead of going for that Deckard Kane who was more exposed, who uses the Lornado to zoom for himself. The Lily and the Nova were going for him, and it just wasn't enough because Deckard Kane is a very tanky support as well. Can they catch Digi now? He still has that Mosh Pit available. Catches the Leeming hook! These fishing hooks from Yemek Mikey, absolutely huge. That's Just a round of applause in the chat, please, ladies and gentlemen, for Yemek Mikey's hooks this game, which are absolutely keeping Moon Moon in the competition. They would be out by now if it wasn't for these hooks on Stitches. Just huge max range hooks, catching people. There's the Durant, doesn't quite connect. Digi has to be careful, trying to zone the members of Moon Moon, but without costing him his own life. I think his bolt is up. Yes, it is, so he could get out that way. There's the precision strike onto Alarak, who telekinesis but still gets hit by it. Loses half his HP. Still alive, though, and that's what counts. In comes the Mephisto damage. Gets rid of the Phoenix shield, but I think he has his level 20 cooldown up. Hook doesn't connect. Bounces on the tower. They're going to get another tower here. That's going to allow them to push further forward. They're going for a Gorge on the ETC, who has the mosh pit. You've got to be careful about that, Yemek Mikey, and now you're on your own. Lily's going to come and help you. She does have the cleanse available if needed, but the team has to be careful not to group up, otherwise there's going to be a mosh pit. Maladriel, are you there? But there's the mosh pit. Kits 2, the cleanse onto Stitches, and he doesn't immediately hook. ETC still alive. The counter strike from Linux does some serious damage onto Delano and Sandman. There's the combo before Linux. It's Alarak versus Alarak. Who's going to win? The damage from Mephisto following up onto Delano. Hook onto Deckard Cain. Can they focus there? Yemek tries to zone. There's no mosh pit available as ETC slides in, trying to punish Yemek's Stitches. But his Stitches on 8k HP with 1 million globes. You're not going to kill him. You're not going to kill him any day of the week. And ETC's a lot more vulnerable there. You can't slide in that aggressively against the combination of Alarak, Nova, Mephisto, because they've just got ridiculous burst. And Yemek's Stitches... Honestly, if that hook hits, it might have been game. Oh, Mephisto looking for the Durance, doesn't hit it. There's the cleanse from Lily, but it's not enough. And Mephisto goes down. So a little bit overconfident from Mephisto there, trying to find that Durance that would have allowed them to go in further. They've gorged Alarak. Can they punish here? Deckard Cain's coming in, trying to help. The deadly charge on top. The counter strike's there. Can they finish it off? The telekinesis to safety. Delano's still alive. He's still alive, but he's been hooked back in. The triangle roots. Oh my days! He's turned it around with a huge damage, with a follow-up from Li Ming as well. The roots and the damage from Delano. The confidence, the sheer confidence from this team. Mada Mada team wipe. Maybe they can go all the way here. They've still got to keep Yemek and Linux. Have got a mammoth job to do. Mephisto's back up. Maybe he can help, but there's no support available and no Maladriel to flank. There, Stitches gets the Gorge with the combo damage onto Delano's Alarak. Can they finish it off? The Durance misses. No, the counter strike's there from Delano. He's still being healed by Deckard Cain. What is this game? It's absolutely huge. It's 25 minutes and counting. I cannot believe the tension here. Stitches hooks Delano in. Surely they can finish him off this time. Yes, they have. They really want to get that Alarak sadism down, and they have done it successfully. Again, here's the Purification Salvo. It does some damage, but not enough. Linux is Alarak going in, trying to punish. Can he get into the jugs in time? No, he can't. The Durance of Hate is there onto ETC. Can they finish him off? He's silenced. Surely they can. He uses the bolt to try to escape, but it's not enough. Phoenix teleport, starting to walk away. Mephisto chasing, doing so much damage, trying to catch Deckard Cain as well. If this fishing hook lands, it could be game. Can he find it? Can he find it? Yes, he can! Yemek, you god. You actual Stitches god. Where are these hooks coming from? They're coming from downtown, and that's going to be the end of the four-legged cavalry. His death staggered for another 40 seconds. They can push keep here. Team Moon Moon, they can start to turn this game really in their favor with 2 members dead for another 12 seconds at least. But instead, they're going to get some globes. There's going to be a pause for technical issues, so we're going to go back to looking at my face, and I'm going to get some brief respite. Wow. There's been, disconnects from Alarak, but is anybody else thinking this game is absolutely insane? It's at 26 minutes so far. I'm going to take a look at the deaths. 16... so it's 30 kills to 27 in favor of Mada Mada. That's 57 death game. You know, and it's not like there's a no support game or something. They both got support. But the burst that comes out from both of these teams... Wow, I love these fights. These fights are just going on so long, and there's so much skill in the Alarak versus Alarak combination. By the way, that both Linux and Delano doing some significant amounts of work. The funny thing is that if you look at the stats, Linux has actually done a lot better on hero damage, but Delano is doing a lot better job of staying alive because it's 11 deaths for Linux, where it's only 8 deaths for Delano. But it's 30k hero damage lead on Lennox's Alarak. Obviously, Mr. Sandman's Li Ming is carrying in terms of damage with a significant amount there. But anyway, we're going to go back into the game now. Yeah, so you can see that, look, Li Ming 217k. It's me who has to resume, that's why they're laughing. Because I tried. There's the hook onto Li Ming. Can they finish it off? The precision strike, she dodges it. Oh my god, Sandman! Sandman, you star. What a star. Dodging everything there to survive after a huge hook from your mech. And now, with Phoenix respawning nowish, and they still haven't got the keep, this is going to be a really interesting time. Mephisto goes in, puts a bit of pressure. The mosh pit's back up. Let's have a little bit of calm, because some of these fights have been intense. Combination onto Stitches, doesn't connect. Throws the hook, doesn't hit Deckard King. It whips past his ear, and he will have heard that. Deadly charge onto ETC. Got to be careful. Precision strike does some work, but he has his armor from his trait, so he's alive for now. Hop and fresh, puts in the damage. Li Ming, got to be careful. Doesn't have the. Oh, had a mech. Very nice little dodge there to avoid getting hooked by Stitches, aka Mikey. But they've got to be careful, Moon, about grouping up, because the mosh pits have been huge from Ditchy. There it is! But the cleanse onto Alok immediately allows him to disengage from it and put pressure onto the ETC. Now Phoenix has died. It's a complete turnaround. The keep's gone down. This is disaster from Mada Mada Team Wipe. Team Moon really want to stay in this competition, and they're fighting for it. They're fighting for their love, trying to catch this Alarak. He's down as well. It's 3 members on the deck. Can they end? They're trying to catch the ETC. He's down as well. It's a Mada Mada Team Wipe as well. Now they're surely going to end. Surely this is going to be 1-for-1. Team Moon going to try to bring this to game number 3. I don't think Adamek can hold on long enough. Maybe Mr. Sandman could do something spectacular here, but he knows, I think, he can't carry the game on his own here. This is a massive, massive result for Team Moon. They're going to a game number 3. The fatigue, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. This is honestly one of the best series of anything I've cast. Never mind the ARAM League. It's just so insanely intense. I'm sweating so much, and I'm not even playing. I'm just here screaming at the computer. I've got to show you some of these endgame stats because they're just madness. They're just absolute madness. Look at this. Just look at some of the numbers here. You've got Li Ming with 223,000 hero damage. You've got Mephisto with 158,000. Then you've got what I would call an obscene number of deaths on both teams. The thing is, Sandman on Li Ming was the sort of quiet MVP there. By the way, Deckard Kane only dying once, and that was right at the end. But for me, the real MVP there was Yemek Mikey. Because ultimately, it's some of the hooks that allowed them to stay in the game even when they were under pressure. And, you know, numerically, Li Ming, played by Mr. Sandman, has done just enough on his own to push the game in favor of Mada Mada. But Yemek Mikey Stitches, just finding some of these hooks. Just absolutely huge stuff. I will say credit to the Sleeves Lily as well, who saved some people in what might be called ridiculous circumstances. We need a little bit of respite for sure. But we're going to go into game number 3. This is the moment when it'll all come together. I haven't done the calculations about what happens if Moon win. I know that if Mada Mada win, then Mada Mada are through. I think that means that Moon might be out anyway. Let me get up the stats so you can all follow along on heroeslounge.gg as well. If you go to events, EU ARAM League. It's Group F that we're watching now. So Team Moon, if they win this, no, yeah, I think Moon are out either way. Wait, unless head-to-head is prioritized. I think if Moon win, then both Moon and Mada Mada are out. And Sith Lords go through. I'm not sure. Because Sith Lords, of course, have the head-to-head result against Moon. So it's not... I think Moon don't have anything to play for. But do tell me in the chat if I'm wrong, Moon members. Oh, thanks for following Anthony123 Sav. You can, yeah, we're watching for anyone who's just tuned in. You're watching a ridiculously close ARAM League series between Mada Mada Team Wipe and Team Moon. It's one game apiece so far, and game number 2 was absolutely insane. And the star of the show really was this guy right here. Let's get him on for a live interview right now. Stitches, what do you think the key factor there was? Stitches want to play. That's good analysis there. That's good analysis. It's really hot, so I'm not going to hold on to you for long. And also your adversary is somewhere here, because here's ETC to give his analysis. Yeah, he was too quiet. So the answer about how many teams go through is that there's 10. Right. Okay. So right now there's 10 groups of 4. The top 2 from each of those 10 groups is going to go through to the next group phase. There's another group phase. And so that makes 20 teams, and they'll be put into 5 groups of 4. And then the top 2 from those groups will go through to the actual knockout stage of the playoffs. I think I'm visibly sweating, which is good. You can't see below here. Yeah, so I don't know what. It depends on what the tiebreaker. Because obviously, if Moon win now, there's 1 win apiece on each of the teams in terms of match wins. But then it depends if it goes to like KDA or if it goes to like head-to-head type. I think it would go to head-to-head, in which case Sith Lords will probably be through. I'm not sure. I don't know all the details. Let's see how it goes, of course. Anyway, because of course Mada Mada could. If Mada Mada win, they're definitely through, and Sith Lords and Moon are out. Go Team Moon. Oh, exactly. You can support a team if you like. You could also just shout Mada Mada in the chat for support Mada Mada Team Wipe, who did an incredible job last game. Great moshes as well. Thank you, Gwells, for hosting. So, for those of you who are tuning in just now, you're watching Mada Mada Team Wipe versus Team Moon in the Heroes Lounge ARAM League. It's a best of 3 series, and so far it's 1 game apiece, and anyone who watched game number 2 will tell you it was intense, and my voice took out some work. But now, look, So we saw Stitches be the star of the show in game number 2, and now we're seeing for Team Moon Moon, but now we're seeing Mada Mada Team Wipe pick up Stitches, played by Digimon. Joining him for Mada Mada Team Wipe, we have Vash playing Oriole, Adamek playing Sylvanus, we have Mr. Sandman on what looks like Cassia, and Delano on the Thrall. And on the other side of the map, they're up against Team Moon Moon, who vetoed the draft. No. So everything that I was about to say about the draft is now meaningless. So, oh, you can see my clothes there in the background. That's very professional. Professional casting here from Karis. If you want to see more semi-professional casting from Karis, you can go to the Masters Clash live in Paris on the 20th and 21st of July. Hashtag Karis in Paris. Don't forget to type that in the chat. And that will also be broadcast live somewhere on the internet that I haven't worked out yet. But you can, there are still tickets available for the live Masters Clash events, where you can see me wearing ridiculous clothes. Ah, okay, well, it's cool. So, to recap, yes, the game. This is Group F. If Moon Moon lose this game number 3, they're out of the Heroes Lounge ARAM League. If they win, they might still be out, but I haven't done the calculations on the tiebreakers. Anyone is welcome in the audience to just go to heroeslounge.gg, check out the groups on the under events ARAM League, and you can find this is Group F, and you can see. But Mada Mada Team Wipe definitely came in the favourite, but Team Moon Moon are putting up an incredible fight as we are getting ready for game number 3 in this best of 3 series. Can we show more of cute Stitches? Well, there's 2 forms. So we've got Stitches here. By the way, he's got his hook hand obviously, but he doesn't have a hook, which is a bit. But we also have his brother, which is Chef Stitches, who's a lot smaller. In fact, you can just put this one here. Then, oh no! I've fallen on the microphone. It's gone dreadful. Anyway, oh, and he's got this little, all his intestines hanging out. Anyway, let's just get rid of him. The real contest last game was between ETC and Stitches. Wait, I've got this the wrong way around. Between ETC for Mada Mada. Wait, ETC for Mada Mada and Stitches for Team Moon Moon. Oh, wait, no, I'm always ready. Wait. Sorry, the teams were asking me if I was ready. Casters are always ready. That's my rule. Anyway, enough of our analysts, Stitches, and ETC. They will go to sit and watch game number 3, which is going to be hopefully as intense as game number 2 was. Although maybe I will actually have a heart attack if it is. So stay tuned to see if I actually have a heart attack, or if I decide to shave before I cast one of these days because it looks dreadful on camera. Now then. I think we're just waiting for one player to actually click ready, and then we'll be into game number 3, numéro 3. Jeu numéro 3 in this best of 3 adventure. And of course, after this ARAM League tonight, there'll be just me playing Storm League, which you can stick around to watch if you like. And also, if you want to find out more about when I cast and stuff, you can follow me on Twitter, which apparently is a thing that people do these days. And by these days, I mean for the last decade, and you can follow it somewhere here. It tells you where you can find me on Twitter. There you go. Follow me on Twitter, and I will tweet telling you when I'm playing, and also occasional sarcastic thoughts about Heroes of the Storm. But it's time for game number 3 between Mada Mada Team Wipe and Team Moon Moon. So this is Mada Mada Team Wipe's draft we're looking at right now. They're going for a Kale first. They're going for an Oriole for that massive sustain. They're going for the Garrosh. That didn't work out well for Moon Moon in game number 1. But I guess they didn't have many choices. They could have gone for the Mal'Ganis, and I really rate Mal'Ganis as a tank. I think he's really strong and underrated. By the way, Nova, we saw give massive value for Maladriel on Moon last game, so maybe that's the influence there for Adamek, who's picked it up for Mada Mada team wipe here to go with Digimon on the Garrosh, Vash on the Oriole, Delano on the Falstad, and Mr. Sandman on the Kael'thas, and they are Mada Mada team wipe. And in the red corner, we have Team Moon with Poppin' Fresh on Diablo, Linux on the Thrall, Maladriel on Lunara. There's a Sleef on Orphea, and Yimek on the white main. Yimek, aka Mikey. They're not going for the hammer. Now, but now there's another veto. So we're going back to the draft. So you get to see my face for even longer. I feel like after all the action of game number 2, and it was just like so intense, it's kind of feels weird to kind of have this break where we're just waiting for because we've had some vetoes on the draft and took a while to set up lobbies and stuff. So it's not, you know. I think we were. I was so revved up. I was so revved up in that game number 2. I hope some of you clipped some of these moments because they were absolutely insane. If you didn't, then clip them in game number 3 because there will be more moments. There will be moments. There's one thing I can guarantee is that there will be moments in game number 3. Don't know who's going to win. But I do know there will be some things will happen. It's a nice face though. That's the biggest compliment I've ever received in my life. Hope you're talking about mine and not the stitches. I mean, maybe. Oh, I didn't even click ready, so it doesn't matter. I think Moon are actually just listening to the draft and not even playing the game. Probably should have got rid of some of this mountain of stuff. Oh, Stitches is just lying there. He's having a nap. He doesn't have any legs, as you can see. He actually lost them in the war, so don't laugh at that. So it's just cruel, isn't it? Looks like a Muradin here. Oh, I should show you what's going on, but it hasn't. I mean, the draft hasn't finished yet, but looks like a Muradin here for Digimon with a Zagara and a Tychus. That's pretty nasty. Lilia's the support. We saw that. Yeah, that was quite valuable for Moon. But of course, this is Mada Mada's draft we're looking at, but it was quite valuable for Lily in game number 2. And remember, there's no more vetoes left. For those of you who don't know, you get 1 veto per series in the Heroes Lounge ARAM League. And this is game number 3, Mada Mada Team Wipe versus Team Moon. Take it away, the casters. Hi, I'm Karis. I'm going to be your caster for game number 3. Yeah, so we've got in the red team, we have Rexar, played by Zasleef. We have Linux, played by Linux playing Zul'jin. Poppin' Fresh on Joanna. Maladriel on the Oriole. That's a nasty combination, that Zul'jin Oriole. And Yimek Mikey on the Jaina. Already that's a juicy draft, but let's take a look at the other side, which is the blue team. We have Mada Mada Team Wipe. We have Sandman. They're playing the Orphea, is that? We have Adamek on the Lili. We have Vash on the Zagara. Delano on the Tychus. And Digimon on the Muradin. So, personally, I favour the draft of Team Moon, but literally, this is ARAM, anything can happen. As Poppin' Fresh and Yimek go in, get some wave clear going. Both teams with pretty good wave clear, but you'd have to say that the sustain overall is in favour of the Oriole draft, is always going to be in favour of the Oriole draft. And it's whether Oriole can put out the necessary saves in a team fight. I think she probably can, and with the help of especially of that blind from Poppin' Fresh, if Joanna's played by Poppin Fresh, can blind Delano's Tychus when he's minigunning, then that could be, potentially that's huge value, and that stops really the main burst threat, apart from Orphea, on the side of Mada Mada team wipe. Yeah, so Zul'jin does smell like GG maybe, but especially with an Oriole to back him up. Like Zul'jin Oriole is just, perpetual motion machine in terms of damage and healing. Poppin Fresh goes in, puts a bit of pressure onto Orphea. Digimon steps out nicely. Perfect Storm, of course, for the Muradin. Got 1 stack so far. The thing is, Muradin should be able to stack fairly easily, even on like Misha and stuff. That's a nice stun from Misha into Blizzard from Jaina to cause some damage. But Misha died for it, so they've got to be a little bit careful. I mean, okay, Misha's, you might think it was just Misha. What do you care about our life? A, bears matter too. You cruel bastard. Or as they get a lovely kill on Orphea. But B, you get a quarter of a hero's XP for that. So you can't just give up the life freely. Maybe you're getting Stormbolt stacks as well on, Muradin when you get those Misha kills. But so far, the kills are definitely in favor of Moon. And I think maybe Mada Mada are regretting using their veto on the previous draft, because this Oriole Zul'jin idea is going to be so nasty against them with the Jaina for the burst when they need it. And that's the difference. It's not just Oriole Zul'jin, for that ridiculous sustain. When they need the burst, they've got it in the form of that Jaina. And at some point, Jaina's going to put a Ring of Frost, or she's just going to root them with Cone of Cold or something. And Zul'jin's just going to go to town, and there's not much that Mada Mada can do about it in that situation. So they've got to try and find some early game kills before that Zul'jin becomes too devastating. And maybe Misha kills are the way to go. They're looking for Zul'jin actually, but don't forget that Joanna's Poppin Fresh is pretty low, but Orphea got so hungry for those kills that she was punished for it. And so now it's 3 kills to a quarter in favor of Team Moon, and they're starting to look like they've got the momentum already in this game number 3. Yeah, Misha's getting her ass kicked, as has been said in the chat, but so is Orphea, and Orphea is worth more than a Misha ultimately. Muradin trying to flank, trying to find an opening, but Misha's just providing so much space with the Joanna if needed that I think it's really tough for Mada Mada to see how to play this. I've got no doubt that if Mada Mada had a veto left, they'd be using it here. But they didn't. Muradin comes in, tries to find the Stormbolt on Zul'jin, doesn't connect. Jaina using the Frostbolt to try and keep people at bay. Digimon thinking about globe control, but he's got to think about protecting his backliners who are taking a pounding from Zul'jin and Misha over there. Digimon comes in, tries to provide a distraction, does so, but Lily comes in to try and help him, might get punished for it. Misha looking for it. No. Lovely retreats here from Mada Mada. They're getting this coordination together on this coming in and going out. And it's working quite nicely now. They're starting to get back into the game, but of course, continuously while all that's going on, Zul'jin's getting stacked and stacked. Now, however, Zagara's coming with her stacks as well. She's getting that serrated spines. Late game, that could be devastating as well, if she can stack and Zul'jin can't. But there's more. I think the blind from Joanna is easier to execute than the blind from Lily. Sure, the Lily blind has a shorter cooldown, but the Joanna blind has a lot bigger range. Muradin goes in, gets a Stormbolt stack onto Maladriel. But that's all he gets, and in the meantime, Zul'jin gets another stack, This Zul'jin late game could be fearsome, and I'm not seeing that right now Mada Mada have the necessary early game energy, have the necessary early game momentum to punish before he gets stacked. Tigers gets whipped into a wall. He has gone in the rhythm though, so all the, both the teams are playing for the late game here. I like this sledgehammer idea, by the way, on Muradin, to try and get some siege damage, so that if they ever get a kill or something, if they win a team fight, they can take a tower in seconds with that sledgehammer Stormbolt. It will become devastating to structures. Now we get to stun onto Zul'jin, who was very far forwards looking for stacks, but the team weren't quite ready to follow up there. They haven't got quite the synchronicity right down just yet. Jaina trying to flank, can't quite do it. Lovely stun onto Oriole, but there isn't really lockdown to follow. Maybe what we'll see is when we get to level 10, when we see the jaws coming out from Orphea, the Stormbolt will be a setup for jaws onto somebody. That's a nice kill onto Misha, by the way, and almost a kill onto Zul'jin, but Zagara's paid the price. The damage, this constant sustained damage coming out Oh, and maybe Mirrodin's got to be careful here as well. He does get out. Orphea, very low. No tap available for her just yet. And so maybe when they get to level 10 on the side of Mada Mada, then they've got those jaws, you know, Stormbolt into jaws, and there's an idea there of getting somebody. But until then, I'm not sure what they can do. Mirrodin gets whipped into the wall, throws a Stormbolt, catches Oriole. Maybe the Vash's Zagaras can start doing some damage, but Zul'jin is zoning that Taika so much. Oh, and Mr. Sandman's been caught between a Misha and a Joanna. That's not a nice place to be. And has been chunked down by Jaina, to result in yet another kill in favor of Team Moon Moon, who are starting to look like they have all the momentum here. It's not looking good for Mada Mada, because I would say that in the late game, this draft is in favor of Team Moon Moon. Now, let's not forget, of course, they do have a Tychus who's gone for stacks, an Orphea who's gone for stacks, and a Zagara and a Mirrodin who've all gone for stacks. They've got some late, you know, they're trying to build for that late game presence. Mirrodin, by the way, already stacked on his baseline Q quest. Oh, as Orphea gets a little bit caught out. There's the Ring of Frost. Does connect into Mirrodin mid-jump. He doesn't have a jump left. With the guillotine on top. Boom. That's the end of 2 members and the fort of Mada Mada Team Wipe. And so, Mada Mada Team Wipe need to wait for that level 10, but it's... Warbears are a thing. What are these comments about the bear? I'm just going to pretend they didn't exist. So, Lily has gone for the jugs. Zagara, I assume, is going for more, and not for Nidus. Crushing Jaws, as predicted from Orphea. Now, here's an idea. If Zagara can get a massive more, you can time the Crushing Jaws from Orphea on top of it to cause some serious problems. And that could be a huge play. Mirrodin hasn't picked yet. He might be going for that Haymaker. Of course, it's Odin from Tychus. I think he's thinking about the Haymaker, but he's also thinking that Zul'jin's tearing him a new one. He's gone for the Haymaker. I think his idea is, we've got to make something happen out of nothing. And very often Haymaker and Hook Gorge and that sort of stuff are a way to do that. Lovely jugs from Lily, keeps her alive for now, but the guillotine finishes the job off. Yes, they get the Misha kill in response, but that's not enough. And there's a Ring of Frost onto Zagara, onto Tychus. It's pretty savage. The Haymaker on Toriel will secure the kill, I hope. The Odin's been popped to secure it as well. So yeah, they get the Oriel kill, but for 3 heroes and 2 ultimates, I think they're not going to be so happy with that. Still, Mada Mada are not out of the game yet. Yeah, so look at these Zul'jin stacks. 22 on his U1 tack so far. He's got his Headhunter nearly stacked. I think he needs... I don't know who he needs. But he's also stacking the Twin Cleave as well, which I think stacks infinitely as well. Yeah, so that stacks infinitely. The auto attack stack infinitely on U1 tacks. Late game. If this goes to very late game, Zul'jin is just going to become a damage monster. There's the Haymaker onto him though. Can they punish? He doesn't have Taz Dingo. The Jugs are coming out, trying to keep Mirrodin alive, who's tanking a lot of stuff. Tychus comes in with the damage, trying to blow up this Zul'jin. He throws the guillotine when he's on low health, and immediately Mirrodin's executed. Jaina though has been found out by the author damage from the flank. Tries to escape. It's 2 for 1 so far in favor of Mada Mada. They did a nice little engage there with the Haymaker onto Zul'jin, but they're already low. They've got to be careful. But with no guillotine available, maybe this is the time, looking to try to engage onto Oriole. So that's the first fight that you would say has gone in favor of Mada Mada. And they've caught up a little bit in XP, but they're still 1 whole level down. And the issue for them is going to be when that level 16 comes. Digimon gets whipped back. They don't want him to be Haymaker again. He's just going to try and put some pressure onto Joanna, but he can't put too much pressure because Zul'jin's starting to tear him a new one. Lily came a little bit too far forwards looking for that as well. The Jugs was too little too late. That's a more onto Joanna, but there's no jaws available to follow it up because Orpheus had to retreat because of the wave of damage walking at her. And this time it's 2 kills for nothing in favor of Team Moon Moon. Muradin finds the stun to Zul'jin. Yeah, he could maybe go for a haymaker there, but at what cost? They're really desperate on the sides of Mada Mada. They're really desperate to make something happen now before the late game happens, before Zul'jin becomes just unstoppable. But Misha and Joanna are so good at zoning at Muradin, stopping him from just coming in and playing football. And as well as that, 2 members of his team were dead at the time. It was a difficult time for Muradin to go in. That's the Jaws though, but the Aegis onto 1 member. Maybe they can catch the Rexar, down to a quarter HP, healed up by Oriel, who's got ridiculous heals. There's the Jaina Blizzard trying to zone, but Muradin's thinking about coming in. Finds the stun onto Jaina, and Haymaker's strangely away. Maybe so they can engage on the Joanna, but she has the Iron Skin available. Ring of Frost dodged by all members of Mada Mada. Nicely done. Sidesteps on all counts. Popping pressure's really low and doesn't have Iron Skin available. Muradin thinking about going in, trying to put more pressure. But there's still no 16 for Mada Mada. They want to chase, they want to punish that Zul'jin for his insolence, but you know, they don't have the 16, and to engage, Muradin has to jump in, and then he's just completely exposed if he does that. Lily trying to heal him, keep him topped up, but now she's maybe getting caught herself. Muradin's not zoning for her. He's gone to look at the globe. Maybe not the best time. They will get a Misha kill for it though. That's some nice XP, brings them closer to 16 as they need so desperately to catch up in XP. Muradin tries to find Jaina. Lovely stun. Can he get the Haymaker to follow? Yes, he can. Boom! That's the Haymaker kill. A punch to the face finishes off Jaina. Now the Jugs will keep members alive. Looking for the guillotine. Don't stand still. But there's the stun from Joanna to try to set it up. Lily's still alive. She has the fast feet. She's baiting Joanna about and popping fresh dive too deep looking for that. This is a great turnaround from Mada Mada. They're chasing. They're maybe going to catch a 3rd kill in the form of Misha, but no. Just 2 for now. But now, watch this sledgehammer value on this towers. Watch Digimon just take that tower to shreds. Where's the tower gone? That's the sledgehammer. That's why why Digimon has built sledgehammer, so that when in the rare instances when they're winning these fights, the damage, the stun into damage from Muradin. The Aegis has had to be popped. I think it might be the end of Oriel, but the stun wasn't there from Muradin to follow up because he didn't have it, and also he was pretty low. And more was there, but not enough. Zul'jin trying to put a bit of pressure. The guillotine's back up, so if anybody gets low, as Orphea is right now, if that Ring of Frost had hit, that would be the end of Orphea for sure, because the guillotine would have been on top, if not the Ring of Frost damage in itself. There's the Axis hitting loads of members. Mr. Sandman on the Orphea taken down. The guillotine doesn't hit anybody though because Mr. Sandman's already dead. Tychus has to escape. Muradin comes in. Haymaker's Joanna away so that she can't engage onto his team, but he may have paid for it with his life. He doesn't have a jump available. The Jugs are there trying to top him up, but it's not enough. Muradin's gone down. It's 2 members dead. There's only a sliver of health on this keep anyway. And Zul'jin at 43. You want axe stacks and counting with 80 on his W at level 7. By the way, Tychus hasn't died yet, which is why Zul'jin hasn't got the headhunter stacks. I assume that's why Tychus is now playing fairly safely, because he doesn't want Zul'jin to get the final stack on that. But they have to win this fight now. The Jaws and Toriel, can they finish it off? No, they can't. Tychus trying to zone with a bit of spray to kill the minions so that the core will start shooting at the heroes of Team Moon Moon. Team Moon Moon really want this. They want to stay in the Heroes Lounge ARAM League, but Pop-Up Pressure's gone down. Misha's gone next. Muradin's chasing. He's got so many stuns for days. He's got so many stacks on his Stormbolts. Oriel's going to fall to the minigun. She's using Aegis to buy time, but Rexar's been caught in a great maw. This is savage, but the guillotine onto Tychus will award the headhunter to Zul'jin. Linux with the plays as he was giving the plays on Alarak last game. Well played there from Linux on the Zul'jin to secure a dignity kill in that retreat that not only buys some space for them to not lose their fort immediately, but more importantly, gets that headhunter quest finished for Zul'jin, which means he now has a greater basic attack range. And when you've got 45, yes, that's right, 45, you want axe stacks. That's pretty nasty. Muradin goes in with the stun onto Zul'jin while 2 members are dead, while the Oriel's dead. Surely this is going to be the end of Jaina. No, they've haymakered her to safety. I'm not sure that was the play. I think they could have killed her there. I think he was just trying to zone to avoid her doing too much damage. Zul'jin healing himself up, ready to come in, but here's Oriel as well. The jaw, oh my daisy. Was it Ice Block or Aegis? I think it was Ice Block, yes. Yeah, so Aegis is still up for Oriel. And don't forget she has the Shield of Hope as well. And now with Lily dead, is this the time that the Moon Moon are gonna end the game? Muradin tries to buy the time. He's still alive. Orphea trying to zone, but look at that range on you on Zul'jin. Sandman's been caught. This looks like it's going to be game. It looks like it's going to be the end of the series. It looks like Team Moon Moon are knocking Mada Mada Team Wipe out of this competition. Digimon uses the Haymaker to buy a few seconds, but it's GG well played to Team Moon Moon. It's 2-1. That means Team Moon Moon has won the series against Mada Mada Team Wipe. It's the first series that they've won of Heroes Lounge ARAM League. And I don't know if that means they've qualified or not. Somebody's going to tell me. But what a series. Incredible, incredible stuff from Team Moon Moon. You know, credit to them for putting on an incredible show, but also credit to Mada Mada Team Wipe, who actually in this game number 3 they didn't fall apart under the pressure. You know, they saw that they had some windows when they had to make an opening, but ultimately the Zul'jin was just getting stacked and stacked, and there's at the end of the day there's nothing they could do about that. If I show you the end game statistics, you will not be surprised at the Zul'jin stats, which are savage. 106k siege and 97k hero. But it's not just that. You know, I think credit to Orphea who's put in 95k hero damage, but look at the deaths difference. Orphea dying 7 times to get that hero damage. Zul'jin didn't die a single time in this game number 3. So with that, yes, thank you. Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure, Yemek Mikey, to cast a great series, and like I said, credit to both teams for particularly game number 2. Game number 2 is a highlight of ARAM League in general. And if you watch back the VOD, definitely clip some of your favorite moments. Definitely clip some of your favorite moments and send them into the cast. We have like a clips channel in Heroes Lounge where you can submit that stuff. But yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed that series. Coming up shortly, it's me playing Storm League, possibly with some other people. Yeah, that's all the ARAM League for today. If you want to see when there's going to be more Heroes Lounge ARAM League, check out the Heroes Lounge website, heroeslounge.gg/calendar. There's all the info in there. You can also follow me up here somewhere. Or on Twitter. I have Twitter. I don't know what Twitter is, but it's a place where people write meaningless messages. And if you want to hear meaningless messages from me, you can do that on the internet. Here, look at that awareness of camera positioning. There you go. Yes, it was a delight, of course, as always, to cast the legendary Team Moon Moon, but Mada Mada Team Wipe, credit to them as well for a great show and a brilliant game number 1 from them. And I think they will be feeling just a little bit like they shouldn't have used the veto so early for that game number 3, and maybe saved it for a Zul'jin situation. Well, that's luck of the draw. That's luck of the ARAM. It is all random, and it is all random, and it is all mid. So that's all good stuff. Yes, like I say, more Heroes Lounge ARAM League will exist somewhere. Check out the Heroes Lounge calendar to see when that's coming. Not from here, not from this channel today. Probably some next week. There will be on the Heroes Lounge main channel. It's going to be NA playoffs, so sort of late evening for Europe and early day this weekend. Not on here, but on the twitch.tv/heroes_lounge. More information about that on the Heroes Lounge website or on the Discord, as always.